You heard the music. You know what time it is. It's 2 p.m. with the trigger. Put everything down, grab a cup of coffee, grab something to relax for just 10 to 15 minutes and join in on the conversation. We're always here to help you every day shine on camera and shine on stage more effectively with media savvy skills so that you and your brand get amplified and you get the more clients you want and your media empire grows and grows and grows. I've been working behind the stage today a lot on building that media empire out and giving more insights and really how to flesh it out. In the coming months, I will be announcing my first book, and it is on media empire. So really thrilled to be finally getting that done. But today we're back to talk about summits. We are here to talk about summits because I have a passion, my guest has a passion for better summits, higher quality, better participation, and you can make money off of them. No more giving away content for free. No more having summits where you in your heart know I can't charge for it. We're going to change that. Sandar Dee Robinson is back with me again. She was here yesterday, former actress. She's a media expert herself, a podcaster, so many different things. Just bring her on in, will you please? There you go.
Hi.
Plus she loves horses.
I do. Everywhere that you find, even on LinkedIn, I'm crazy enough to put a horse on my picture in LinkedIn. Who does that?
Next time I come down to Dallas, I'm making the stop.
Yeah,
Enough
you
of this
better.
coming in and out without being able to do it. I'm coming. I want to see those horses.
I'm in Austin though, so you come to Dallas, you're gonna have to drive a few hours, but
I can
we're
do
close.
that.
Reasonably close. It's in Texas standards, we're close.
So yesterday we got into this whole summit thing, and thank you for playing along this week because we're doing a summit tomorrow of sorts together on your platform.
Yeah.
I did one last week. I'm already pulling into another one, but as we were talking about this, it's often a big letdown, and we want to change that, don't we?
Yes. It's a letdown for the people that are putting it on because I think, and there's a lot of moving parts with the summits that it's not going to go away if you charge for it, by the way. I mean, it really helps to have a coach, to have someone like you, that kind of catches things, to have an online manager that's done these kind of things before, super helpful because there are so many follow-ups getting your guests, your speakers together is kind of like herding kittens into a bag with one arm. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, and okay, let's start there. To make a summit better, the back off camera organization is so important to set the expectation of a speaker coming on. This is what you're going to do. Here's how we expect you. And there's other things. So go there for a second. What would you like to see on the back end, the offstage side to improve a summit?
I think the first thing is that whoever's putting the summit on, I've learned a lot. And I came into it with a coach, speaking over my shoulder, so to speak. So I had that advantage. I can't imagine doing any kind of a summit without having somebody next to you doing it because there is just the agreement itself. It's not, hey, I agree to be on your summit. It's in the agreement. You have a list of this big, or you have this many followers on social media, yes or no. And if they say no, the tough thing is, as great as the person is, the answer is, hey, maybe not this time. We'll do something else together. We'll do a LinkedIn Live. We'll do a panel discussion. And I do that. I mean, I've got friends that I would love to have on this, we're calling it the show that you and I are doing this week. And it's a summit of sorts, but it has a lot of the same pieces that you and I are talking about here with the regular summits that everybody's so used to. And there's that piece that no, they have to qualify. The guests have to qualify because we're talking about monetizing. It's not, hey, let's give everybody, a good feel good. It's actually monetizing and building business with it. So there has to be qualifications. They have to agree to send out and do some marketing. And that's the part that, kind of sucks, is that you have to chase them down and go, hey, didn't see that you were marketing yet. Are you marketing? When are you going to send out an email? I mean, that part, it stinks and it's going to stink, but you have to do it.
Well, that's the only way to raise the bar. That's the only way to, the idea is to leverage Sandar's IP, my IP, the other people that are involved. You want to leverage each other to leverage the whole event.
Yes. It's to lift everybody up. And so when it's put that way, I think a lot of it is the messaging that goes to the people that you've invited as guests or interviewees or speakers, right? Is to be able to say, hey, this isn't just for my promotion. and your promotion. It's for everybody. It's for the mission of whatever the event is for. Like for you and I this week, it's about helping women that are dealing with this pandemic of chronic stress. I mean, when I started researching it, the numbers were off the charts crazy. I know I felt it, but I didn't realize how bad it actually gotten. So now I have this whole mission to be able to actually do something great with the people that we're bringing in and with the whole show, you know?
Well, and the expectation off stage preparation is one that I'm finding is dismal. Let's just put it that way. Again, we're being honest here. By the way, if you want to drop in the chat, you want to join the conversation, ask a question, please. If you agree or disagree, please join us. But the planning off stage, it really sets the bar for where you want to go with your summit, with your event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you do not tell them, I expect you in professional attire. If you not tell them, I want you to have your room clean and looking on brand or a virtual screen. If you don't tell them, no selling. If you don't tell them these things, you are allowing them to do whatever the heck they want with your
Yeah.
event, and it breaks the cohesiveness and it does impact other speakers.
Yeah. And that goes across the board. I mean, I remember hosting a TV show, online TV show, and having one of our guests that was not one of my guests that I chose, just putting it out there, wasn't somebody I okayed. And he piped in for the show from his vehicle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, from his vehicle. And I was like, and I look at these things as you do too. I try to get as close to broadcast TV quality as humanly possible. It never reaches the standards that I want it to, it seems, but one day it will. But honestly, I was just horrified, and we didn't have another guest lined up. So we went on air with him like that from his car. The sound was awful. The lighting was awful. It just was very unprofessional. And it was crushing to me to see our show drop in that standard. So I think it's so important that you even said, I didn't think about this, but you said professional attire. Yeah. Yeah. No hoodies. You know?
Right. And we've had that. And if that's the brand you want, I'm talking about you, the host, the creator. If that's the brand you want this, so let's all be casual and sit on the couch. Tell everybody, literally sit on the couch, have a cup of coffee, be in your casuals, and lean back, and let's all do this.
Or if it's fitness,
picture what you want.
If that's your brand, it's fitness, then that's a whole different deal. But
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is, again, it is TV. Everyone's got to change their mindset. That's the first chapter of my book, by the way, is mindset change. This is TV now. Start thinking and behaving like TV and create your universe the way you want to create it. So you do need to set you and I have both been on sets. We've both been on places. They tell you, if you're on camera, you got to come locked and loaded, boys and girls. There's no creeping in the back door. In fact, I think you were with me on another event where a person was scheduled, and they literally walked in out the back door with their hat on backwards and said, I totally forgot about this. I'm sorry. They were in their civvies. And they just said, but I'm here for you. Boom. You've lost so much credibility in that moment.
Yeah.
And so you can't do it. So the other thing I'm wanting, going back to the people that may not be of the caliber yet, and this has happened live in person events many times. You want your A-listers to be on the stage.
Yes.
But you can do a breakout room. You can do a mini course. You can have an open Q&A. You can use that speaker, but you don't put them here. You put them over here. And the other key factor in this is you don't brand them as one of the masters. You brand them as a special guest, a sub-expert, whatever it is. But right now, everyone's saying expert, superstar. And then when you get to the summit, they all aren't superstars.
How often does that happen? We're like, I get there, I look around and go, I don't know a single one of these people. Like, some of them I couldn't even find on LinkedIn. Like, what is happening? What is this happening?
So isn't it better to make your flyer, show this and break out and highlight? These are the big ones. Nothing wrong with having those other ones, but let's really put them and promote them at the level they are.
Yes. It's like a regular conference. That's a really good comparison.
And I don't know why we don't do that, other than we're just, again, being lazy, trying to elevate everybody. We're making promises we can't keep. That's the other thing with creating these. Don't make promises with people you can't keep. just to get them in the door and get them on the stage. Let's be real about the expectations, like you talked about.
Yes.
What's the benefits? What's the assets you get? What are the things you don't get? There's different levels here, and we have to be real about that.
And I don't want to scare people away from doing this, right? Because we're saying it's got all these moving parts and you have to herd people together and they show up in hoodies. Like, but if these things, that's just it. It's like you're learning a new sport. If you haven't done any kind of summit before, haven't organized one, it's a whole new sport. And it's a lot of things. It's like, I know people use this reference a lot, but it's like driving a car, right? And I'm one of those rare people that like, I love to drive a stick shift car. And it's so funny because you pull up to like a valet now and like, the 20-year-old looks at it and goes, oh, I'm like, I got it. Got it. It's all good. But it is funny because that's even harder. I remember learning how to drive a stick shift and thinking there are so many moving parts. I'm never going to get this. And now I just love it. And I kind of love the fact that not too many people know that anymore, how to drive it, so I get these looks, but I think it's so much more fun and I feel like it goes faster. It's more exciting. And so it'll get there. If this is new, there's going to be things that are going to break on the way. I mean, the first time that I did the show that we're talking about, there were things that weren't as I wanted them to be. And this one, I did all the graphics for everybody, right? I did. Stupid. I did it. But I'm like, yeah, I get it all done. And then one of our speakers who's, these speakers from all around the world. So she, sends me a message at like, I get it at 5:30 in the morning because she's in a totally different time zone. And I wake up, I got my coffee in hand, I'm ready to do my quiet time, all relaxed. And it says, the graphics don't work. And I'm like, and the day, 4 hours go by of me apologizing and hang on, don't promote, and stuff happens, and the wonderful thing is if you approach your speakers and your guests well, they actually are pretty cool. You know what I mean? They understand it. I think it's all about relationship in the end. You're asking them to be part of a team. Here's what we're going to do. And if something goes wrong, beg forgiveness and go, hang on a second, we're fixing it. And just be transparent.
Well, so with that, one of the things that I encourage people that I work with is we're going to actually do pre-planning as speakers. We're going to huddle up and get to know each other a little bit, because what I love about the well-run summits, and there are many, please hear us, there are many. The well-run, we do know each other backstage off air. We've shared LinkedIn. We've been on private calls. We've hung out enough that when someone says something during their speech, someone else in the group knows them well enough, they'll pick it up on their speech. You can say, earlier, Sandar was talking about this. I want to add to what Sandar was saying. Now you have this cohesiveness that makes this a really powerful summit. When you don't know each other coming into it, it's hard to get that magic. So we actually take time and have get to know you meetings before we go live. What do you think of that? Oh, I think Sandra froze. That's what happens with summits too. Sometimes you freeze on summits and you have to figure out how to go on. So I'm going to bump her out of the cube for a second. We're going to see if we get her to unfreeze and come back. Again, our goal this week, like we were saying, is to make this all better. Our goal this week, as we're talking about this, is you should charge for your events. You should charge money, raise the value so that you can make money, grow your brand, elevate your brand, pay your speakers. Please pay your speakers, even if it's a trade out, even if it's something else. Get to the point where your summits are so good, you can pay people. You can bring in revenue. The content, and we talked about this yesterday, the content of what you and your speaker present is no different than any other event that you're a part of. No matter where your event is, we're getting her back online here. She'll be coming back in a second. But the content you provide is no different than any other stage. So why are you not charging for it? Why are you not putting a value and a price to be a part of it? So Sandra, with your event tomorrow, there is a price for 10, not a price for 10. Is there a trade out? How are you trying to revenue grow this thing? Let's see if she's
Thank you. We're
hear me.
trying to. Can you hear me? Oh,
Go.
wait. Can you hear me? You can hear me.
There's a lag.
That's
There's a
power,
lag.
yes. Not
You
really.
know, she's in Texas. Everything's bigger, but it doesn't always work.
That's not true. That is not how it felt.
So what about the revenue side? What do you have to
If you
say about
did
making revenue?
something different with this. So I am not charging show. We're calling it a production instead of a summit, but essentially the same. And we're not holding the replay and a lot of the best gifts and the virtual swag that's really worth the most piece. So we're doing a small upgrade fee. Just this time it's just $25. Incredible value for that. They're getting, as you usually do when you do VIP for any event, right? You get more time with the speaker, personal time backstage with you and me, in fact, and private coaching and all kinds of speakers are offering. So I'm glad you can hear me because, like I said, we have no power here right now, so I had to jump on my. Okay.
You're coming through. And again, this is one of the other things. When you run a summit, when you run a live virtual events, you need to have backups. You need to have your phone nearby. You need to have your iPad charged up. In real live TV streaming shows, I've been sports play-by-play and our broadcast goes down. I've done it with a phone and called the station, said, plug me in. We're back on the air.
Wow. Never hesitate.
No. I really want to say thank you for being along for the last 2 days. Sorry that the power went out, but that's how much energy you exude. You're exuding and radiating so much. You blew up the power grid in Texas.
Sure. We'll find out what blew it up for sure. No.
We'll let you go. Take care of that. And I will see you tomorrow. And again, Sandra's got that live event going on. Check it out on LinkedIn. We'll have it on the chat notes when we wrap up with our 2 p.m. live. Great to see you today, Sandra. And again, the door is always open. You come back anytime you want.
Thanks, darling. All right.
So summits are so important. Again, we're going to talk more about this. I would love to hear from you in your chat, in the comments. What are you looking for in summits? What are the things that you hate in summit? What are the ideas you have to make summits better? I would love to hear what ideas you have. I've got them. I'm writing them down. I'm working with other summit people like Sandra, like Shannon Peel that we do work with. I'm working with people literally right now to reconstruct, to help elevate so no one has a turkey anymore. That no one gets done and says, that was a waste of time. The viewers know it was a waste of time. You knew it was a waste of time. Everyone knew it was a waste of time. No more bad summits. And I'm working with people to say, let's put a value, let's put a price tag so everyone can come away looking good, feeling good, being paid for the quality that they bring to the summits. So come back. We're going to keep doing more of this. We're not done. And then join me tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time for Rock the Stage. We are going live, and we're going to talk about your brand voice and finding your authentic voice tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time, Eastern time, not Easter time, Eastern. And that will be streaming live right here again on these very same stations as we stream live to help you multiply, amplify you and your brand. We're showing you how to do it each and every day that we're on camera with you. So 7 o'clock Eastern time, just plug back in, join us again, and we're going to have a great time tonight with Dr. Fred Moss will be our special guest. Hey, until then, I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager, thanking Sandar Dee Robinson for being with us, and we will see you back here 2 p.m.